Round 2 has had the license for Star Trek kits now for, I want to say, about 8 or 10 years. Probably since about 2007 or 8, I want to say. And it took them a while to start doing new kits, because mostly they were just doing reissues where they could. They've reissued the original TV series Enterprise, the kit that originally came out in the 60s. They've reissued just about every major starship that's come down the line that had a model kit at some point that was ever made by Polar Lights or AMT. But eventually they just started doing newly tooled kits of their own. The upcoming, for example, the refit Enterprise that we're going to be taking a look at in a couple of days was one of the first ones that they ever did, as was the Reliant, which came out only a year or two ago. But one of the most recent ones that they've done is the Romulan Bird of Prey, which originally appeared in the episode Balance of Terror, appeared subsequently a couple more times with stock footage, and then eventually the studio lost the model. So when they were doing the episode The Enterprise Incident, they kind of had to scramble to figure out, well, what are we going to do? We don't have that Romulan ship model anymore, which is why they wrote into the background of that episode that the Klingons and the Romulans had formed an alliance, and Klingons were now supplying Romulans with the D7 cruiser, which explains why in that episode, in the original version anyway, the Romulans were all flying Klingon ships. In the remastered version of that episode, which would have come out in about 2007 or so, they kept that angle in the story because they didn't rewrite the episode at all. But instead of being 3 Klingon ships, it was 2 Klingon ships and a Romulan Bird of Prey. And the Klingon ships, which were repurposed, had additional Romulan Bird of Prey markings painted on them on the computer model. And Polar Lights actually reissued, or Round 2 reissued Polar Lights' old Klingon D7 kit in Romulan markings, which came out very much concurrently with this. And I've thought about getting it, but I've built that kit and I didn't really care for it, so I'm not going to bother. But yeah, anybody else that wants to look at it, go right ahead. It's a decent kit. You know, it is what it is. But this one I'm eager to take a look at because this is a brand new tooling. This is one of their brand new non-reissued kits, and I'm eager to take a look at it because it's kind of, I think, a budget kit. It's not, because the studio model of the Bird of Prey was so simple that building a kit of it isn't all that complicated. I'd be surprised if this thing has more than about a dozen pieces. So let's crack it open and take a look. So, same as with the Enterprise the other day, it's the same style box as they ever seem to use, the dramatic Photoshop photo of the starship. This one you can see it firing the special whatever energy beam that it uses in the episode Balance of Terror. But not much else to speak of about the box. Box bottom, 6-inch wingspan, colorful bird graphic decals, display stand included, and a little bit of bio info about the Romulans and the episode in which it appeared. Now, I can already tell this is a very simple kit. You got your 2 halves, each for the nacelles. This would appear to be the vertical tail fin, or whatever you'd want to call it. The particle beam weapon emitter. Not sure, probably a socket in the body for the stand. Molding is nice. Recessed panel lines, where there are panel lines, which there's not many. And a little bit of flash, which is kind of surprising if this is a brand new kit. There's a little there, little on the fin. Wouldn't be too hard to clean up, but yeah. Interesting that The joint between halves is I don't know what I want to say chamfered. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but there's a notch so that there's a very positive fit to them, and there's a lot of real estate that you can apply glue to should you choose to glue fit the kit, which obviously I will. But yeah, nice looking nacelles. There's a little bit of texture on them. They're not perfectly smooth, though the tail fin is quite smooth. Nacelle pylons, very similar in shape to the Enterprise refit, except the other way around. The wide end attaches to the fuselage, and the narrow end attaches to the warp nacelle. But yeah, very, very simple. They're very smooth, unlike the nacelles. No texture to speak of, but yeah, nice big locator pins or tabs for fitting them together correctly. And upper and lower primary hull. Very, very small. This is not a big ship. It's the same scale as the Enterprise that we looked at the other day, and it's about half the size. But very smooth surface. You can see kind of a similar design ethic. This is kind of a fused primary and secondary hull, like on a Starfleet ship. But yeah, there's a bridge dome and a lot of raised little knobs. I'm not sure what those are supposed to be, but they're all raised around the perimeter. Like, I don't know if those are supposed to be windows or what, but they're all raised to the touch, so it's kind of interesting. Bottom of the secondary, or bottom of the hull, whatever, very smooth, nothing to speak of. Display stand is the same dome as comes with the rest of round 2 stuff, but instead of having the regular metal rod, it just has a kind of a hooked strut that fits into the back of the ship's hull. Now, one strange piece that I couldn't identify that I thought might have been a socket for the stand appears to fit in here, and then the rod fits into it. Instruction book. That's it. One step. Pretty simple. I neglected to mention, though it does have clear domes for the warp nacelles. That's about it. All of 10, 12 parts. Very simple. And then you've got your decal and marking guide. The bird on the bottom, very dramatic. I'm eager to get a look at the decals. Yeah, that's pretty dramatic. Yeah, it comes in several pieces, though I think it recommended in the instructions that you cut off the wing tips, which fit onto the warp nacelles, for better fit. Other than that, yeah, there's some window markings for the perimeter of the hull, and that's really about it. This is a really, really basic kit. There's not a whole lot to talk about. So, yeah, this will be a quick, basically a weekend project, since there's so little to it. So yeah, that was about as complicated as I thought it was going to be. It's a nice looking model, very, very basic, very much like the original shooting prop was, which is why I've always been a little bit surprised when they lost the original shooting prop. They didn't just make a new one, because it's pretty simple, you know. How hard could it be to rebuild? Granted, I mean, on the budget that show had at the time, I mean, yeah, okay, it probably would have been cost prohibitive to do that. So, yeah, makes sense to have done it the way they did, but I still always found that kind of funny. But yeah, it's a nice basic, very basic kit. It's probably the kind of thing I could knock together in about a weekend. But I don't know when I'll get around to doing it, but I'd like to have, kind of a shelf somewhere of same scale Star Trek kits. So, tomorrow we're going to be taking a look at round two's, I believe the first new mold that they ever did, the Refit Enterprise, which originally would have come out in around 2009, I think. And I built that kit originally back when it came out, and I don't really remember it, so I'm kind of eager to take a look at it again. So yeah, do stay tuned for that, and thank you everyone out there for watching. Happy modeling.